bago ako magmahal ng iba, mamahalin ko muna ang sarili ko. Mag-iipon muna ako ng pag-ibig. Pag-ibig regular savings. Earn 25 times more sa contributions mo. Ang contributions mo, ipon mo. Mas malaking contribution, mas malaking ipon. I'm worth it. I deserve pag-ibig.
Freelancing or running your own business is not all fun and games the way most people make it out to be. Check out TaxSumo. It lets freelancers, business owners, and self-employed professionals file taxes online in minutes. That way, you can focus more on your passion and stop worrying on taxes. Sign up with us at www.taxsumo.com.
Ever wanted to become a detective? Be part of an elite bomb squad. Train to become a wizard? Or survive a horror mystery? We have just the experience for you at Mystery Manila. Be trapped with friends in one room. Solve one mystery. All within an hour. With only one way out. Are you up for the challenge? We offer online team building activities via Zoom, as well as escape room games in our branches. Check out www.mysterymanila.com.
Online mo pala mahahanap ang bagong virtual pag-ibig. One click, you can track your savings. Easily pay for your loans. Even live chat with us. And now, apply for a short-term loan.
Sign up for the virtual pag-ibig account today.
Hello mga investees at mga convincers! Welcome po sa isang espesyal na edition ng Usapang Pera Live. Ay nako, nandito na naman po tayo. Magaganda na naman ang mga kasama natin. Ano? Ako po ang inyong financial guru, si Sir Vince. Pero syempre, bago po tayo magsimula, tayo po muna ay magbatian. Ano? Tingnan po natin kung kayo po ba ay mag-attendance check muna tayo dahil tayo ay nasa ating pera-aralan. So sa ating pera-aralan, city, province, or country kung nasaan kayo ngayon at kayo ba ay mahilig sa Italian food? At kung mahilig kayo sa Italian food, anong Italian food ang kinahihiligan ninyo? No? Para makita natin kung para ma-shout out naman natin kayo. Sino ba mga kasama natin ngayon? Okay, hello ha. Pakisabi na lang kung saang city, province, or country kung nasaan kayo ngayon. At kayo ba ay mahilig sa Italian food? Siyempre ako mahilig ako sa Italian food, sa mga spaghetti, mga ganyan, di ba? Ang gusto ko kasi sa kanila, napaka-hearty nung kanilang dishes, di ba? Talagang parang luto sa bahay na hinain ni nanay at saka ni lola, sila yung nagluto, ganyan, no? Pagkukumpara natin siya sa French cuisine, for example, yung French kasi masyadong pulido, tapos ang liliit ng portions, di ba? Pag sa Italian ay, nako, mas hearty ang ating nakukuha dyan. Okay, so kasama natin ngayon si Daisy, watching siya from Cavite. So hello sa iyo, Daisy. At kasama din natin si Nicole Pasis, nasa Zambales naman siya. Philippines, pasta, ha? Di ba Italian nga? Yung Philippine pasta ay nasa Philippines ka. Okay. So pasta daw ang paborito niya, no? Coming from Italy. Kasama din natin, nakakaloka naman to. A fam hunter talaga ha. Na buenas noches daw, nasa Madrid, Spain siya. favorite niya ay ang risotto. Of course, paborito din natin ang risotto kasi pero usually kapag in-order ang risotto kasi sa mga restaurants, medyo matagal, di ba? Kaya kailangan ay may oras tayo pag tayo ay nag-order niyan. At nag-hello din sa atin si Mags Balisi from Brooklyn, New York. At kasama din po natin si Angel Hiasa from Capiz, Philippines. Si Pen Mercado Cruz sa Calamba, Laguna. Tono Pasta. Ang tono I think ay tuna. Oy, magkakasundo tayo niyan, Pen. Dahil ako, I don't eat meat anymore. It's been like 7 years na hindi ako kumakain ng meat. Puro vegetables, fish, fruits, ganyan ang aking kinakain, ano? Si Janine, kasama din natin from Bulacan at si Rosalie Escueta ay naghe-hello naman sa atin. So hello din sa iyo, Rosalie. Okay, syempre hindi ko na po patatagalin, ano? Ang kasama po natin ngayon ay napakahalaga, ano? Siya ang nanalo actually ngayon sa Miss Universe Philippines at siya po ang magre-represent ng Pilipinas sa competition. Hindi ko nga alam kung saan ang competition. So itatanong natin sa kanya mamaya, ano, baka alam niya. So please, let us all welcome Miss Celeste Cortesi. Hi!
Hello, good evening, Sir Vince.
Hi, good evening, Celeste. Ayan ha.
Good evening.
Tanong ko talaga kanina, how to pronounce your name properly?
All right, it is Celeste.
Yes.
That's how you pronounce my name, yes.
Celeste. Pero in the Philippines, Celeste ka, no? Celeste.
Yeah, they always say that. I mean, I'm fine with it.
So I will go by what you said. So I will try Celeste.
All right,
Yeah.
yes, I like it.
What does Celeste mean? Does it mean anything?
Yes, of course. So Celeste in Italian is actually sky blue. It's a color. So it means heavenly, the color sky blue. That's how my dad actually named me, Celeste.
Celeste. Okay. How many siblings do you have?
I have a sister which is older. Her name is Monica, like Monica Bellucci.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Naku, you're so pretty. Gabi. I don't think ha. Baka sabihin mo, baka hinaharas kita. Naku, I'm a part of the LGBTQ community.
Thank you so much.
And I like hearing your a bit of accent of the Italian accent kasi ganyan namin naririnig yung mga Filipinos when we train in Milan, in Torino, in Naples, in Roma. So we try, before the pandemic, I actually go to Italy mga twice a year.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, no. At saka I couldn't wait eating the gelato every time I go there. Yan yung una kong kakainin talaga.
I know, I miss that actually. Hoping to go back.
Yeah. So when you won the title as Miss Universe Philippines, what was the first thing that you did after winning?
Well, of course, I talked to my mom because I haven't seen her in 3 years because of the pandemic. And of course, she was very supportive when I decided to join Miss Universe Philippines. So the first thing I had to do is to call her and message her. You know, she was very happy for me, of course. And then after, I think 1 month, I was actually able to go to Italy and see her in person. So I'm very happy for that.
Yeah, no. And so when you joined Miss Universe Philippines, did your mom encourage you to join, or was it really your own decision?
Well, of course, you know, Filipina mothers, they always want their daughters to be part of Miss Universe. And my mom was a huge fan of Miss Universe. So it has always been also her dream for me to join. But it was my decision. I've always been telling my mom, I will do it when I will feel ready, you know, mentally and emotionally to go on stage. And I really want to represent the Philippines. So I had to wait a few years for me to be able to adapt, for me to be able to learn more about the culture. So I was ready this year and I decided to go for it.
Right. Were you born here in the Philippines or in Italy?
I was born in the Philippines, in Pasay City. And then my family had to move to Italy because of my dad when I was only 6 months. So that's why I actually grew up in Italy. Yeah.
Italy na, oo. Okay, and before joining Miss Universe Philippines, of course, before you already won Miss Earth Philippines in 2018.
Yes.
So what made you decide to join Miss U?
Well, to be totally honest, I was not very happy with my performance during Miss Earth. And,
Mm-hmm.
I just came to the Philippines, so I had to adapt to everything, the culture, the traditions, the language. I didn't even know how to speak English at the time. And I was
Mm-hmm.
alone by myself here in the Philippines. So, of course, I'm happy for every decision I made because
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm here today. But my dream has always been to join Miss Universe. So I really wanted to try, and I really wanted to represent the Philippines. So I gave
Uh,
my best, and I felt like I was ready for it.
so what's the growth or areas that you have compared when you joined Miss Earth and now Miss Universe?
I think I grew a lot as a person. And of course, as I said earlier, when I came here, I had to learn so many things, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So, in a span of 4 years, I was able to really adapt to the culture and tradition. I had the chance to learn a lot. Of course, I'm also learning how to speak Tagalog. Now I know how to speak fluent English. So, I was able to grow really
Uh-huh.
100%. And I've always wanted to join Miss Universe with a
Mm-hmm.
purpose, and I know that Miss Universe is a platform that really empowers other women, and that's what I really want to do. I want to empower other women. I want to be the symbol of strength and perseverance and kindness. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I wanted to join Miss Universe, and I felt like I grew so much in a span of 4 years. I still have a lot to learn, so I'm looking forward for that.
Right, oo, no? And so, curious lang kami, no? How are you preparing for Miss Universe? I mean, what do you have to go through, no, to really prepare for
Mm.
the competition?
Well, there is a lot of preparation. It's not just physically that you have to be ready, but also mentally and emotionally. I am the kind of person that really suffer from anxiety. So I really have to, keep calm, but I'm doing my best. I'm trying to learn new things. I'm trying to improve in the things, where I feel like it was a little bit of my weaknesses, but I'm proud of myself. I know I'm doing a good job, and I know that when I will be on the stage of Miss Universe, I will be ready to represent the Philippines. So I hope, Filipinos will be proud of me at the end of the day.
Yeah. So, usually, yung training preparations, ano, what are the specific areas? What do they teach you? Of course, they teach you how to answer questions, right? What
Yeah.
are other things that they teach you?
So what I do, of course, you have to do trainings of passerella. So you
Okay.
have to know how to walk on heels, and then of course I'm doing my workouts because I want my body to be ready. I'm also doing a lot of Q&A,
Uh-huh.
since English is my second language. Of course, I'm
Mhm.
fluent in English already, but I want to be super ready on my Q&A. So that's where I put most of my time,
Mhm.
and I do it at least 4 times a week. It's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, it's my new obsession. So I really want to be ready, but it's fun. I really like putting a lot of effort and passion into things I do, and I like training
Mhm.
for Miss Universe. And I
Mhm.
think, it's something that I have to do. It's my responsibility also to be ready for it. And
Yeah.
other than that, of course, I am doing also public speaking. I'm also
Mhm.
doing dancing classes. I'm doing a lot of things,
Wow.
100%. I'm doing everything.
Yeah. For the workout, how long do you have to do it for one session and how many sessions per week?
I work out at least 3 times a week with a coach,
Okay. Okay.
which is such a nice coach. He's been,
Mhm.
I've been learning a lot from him. And
Mhm.
then other than that, I do cardio, I do Pilates. So
Mhm.
let's say 5 times a week, I
Uh-huh.
really move my body. So, I get used to
Wow.
it. And then, well, it's still 4 months away, but at least I don't have to rush the
Yeah,
month
yeah.
before, to have the perfect body or a good body. So I just want to get
Yeah.
ready right now.
Are there food restrictions or like calorie dapat dito ka lang ganyan?
Not really. I also don't like to deprive myself of food. I
Right.
like to be happy, and food is my happiness. So I like working out. I really like working out, and I like to eat. And I
Mhm.
also don't want to give the message where you have to stay on a diet for you to have a good body. So, I just try to eat very healthy, as clean as
Mhm.
possible, no fried food. I still eat
Mhm.
desserts. I still eat chocolate. So it's fine.
Oh. Okay. So when you join when you join pageants, especially this coming competition for the Miss
Mhm.
Universe, what side of Celeste are you putting forward?
Well, I've always wanted to really be myself. I think that there is a stereotype around Miss Universe that a beauty queen has to be perfect. She has to
Mhm.
speak in a certain way. She has to
Mhm.
dress in a certain way. And I kind of want to break that. I want to be myself. And I think that what makes me one step ahead is the fact that people can relate to me, to my
Mhm.
experiences, to my story. So I think even in a competition as Miss Universe, you have to be yourself. You cannot just copy someone else, or you cannot compare yourself to other people. You have to bring your personality, you have to bring your story, and that's how they will choose you.
So let me ask, what's your story?
Oh, where do I start? Where do I start? My God. Well, uh, it's so funny because I grew up as a very close person. I
Mhm.
never wanted to talk to anyone. I never wanted to expose myself. I never wanted to step out of my comfort zone. And now I'm here representing the Philippines in a Miss Universe stage where I have to express my thoughts, my
Mhm.
opinions, and I really love it. I think I've changed a lot
Mhm.
since I was in Italy, and that's the kind of growth that I want people to see. The
Mhm.
fact that you have to step out of your comfort zone if you really want to reach something, if you really want
Mhm.
to reach your dreams or your goals,
Mhm.
because success is in the other side of your fears, of your obstacles. That's what you
Right.
have to do. You really have to make that step, and it might be scary, but once you do it, and once you win or you reach your goal, I mean, it's amazing, and you can inspire a
Mhm.
lot of people to do the same.
Right. Okay. So what are your advocacies? What are the advocacies that you are currently championing?
Well, lately I've been working a lot with Save the Children,
Mhm.
particularly Save the Children from Hunger.
Uh-huh.
And it was very eye-opening because um, I've always known about the issues that we have here in the Philippines. But once you, are you still there?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Okay,
Yes.
'cause I only see myself. But anyway, I was saying once you experience firsthand by hearing stories from families and children, it really opens your eyes.
Mhm.
And we had the chance to go to Samar, where we had the chance to talk to some of the families and children. And
Mhm.
what I really learned is that this organization doesn't just feed families for a day, but they have a
Mhm.
program that is sustainable. So
Yeah.
they educate the families on how to cook nutritious meals, on how
Mhm.
to also manage the money that they have somehow. So
Right.
it's very sustainable because you can feed a family for a day, but then what's going to happen after? You need
Right.
to help them also in the months to come and the years to come. So that's
Mhm.
why I'm very happy that Miss Universe Philippines is with Save the Children, and I'm very
Yeah.
happy that I've been working with them, and I look forward to work with them more.
Right. Yeah. Because before Save the Children is really more of a feeding program, if I remember it correctly, and now
Yeah,
they are really also providing livelihoods for the parents
yeah.
so that they can feed their children on their own. Right.
True, which is it's very helpful because if you cover more, provinces here in the Philippines, then little by little you can solve this problem that is hunger, even though it's very hard, but it's a beginning.
Right. Yeah. Okay, of course we know you're part Italian, you're part Filipino also, and you're representing the Philippines in Miss Universe. But what qualities do you have that is 100% Filipino?
I would say kindness and empathy.
So
Sorry, I'm eating my
Italians are not
toast.
kind, or Filipinos are kinder.
Because if there is something that my mom always taught me is to be kind to
Mhm,
others no matter what, even if
mhm,
other people might be rude to you
mhm,
or they might disrespect you. You always have to be kind, because once you're
mhm.
kind to other people, you're nice to other, then they will, some people, they will also be kind to you.
Right.
And it's also important to have empathy, to put yourself in other people's shoes, and that's
Mhm.
how you can really, talk to your feelings and emotions, and then help them and be kind with them.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just read some of the comments here for you, ha.
Okay.
Sabi ni Caster, oh, this is one improvement. I think sabi niya, hindi na shaky yung voice niya.
Really, I've been hearing that a lot. I think it's my voice. It's kind of shaky because my
Uh-huh.
accent is Italian, but sometimes, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm not shaky now.
Yeah, and so Claudine is giving all the hearts for you.
Thank
Kaida is
you.
saying hello to you also. The same with Ernie, and Ernie is saying hello, Queen Celeste. Choya is saying we love you, Queen Celeste, and Mark is also saying hi,
Um,
Queen. How does it feel to be called a queen?
yes. Thank you.
Ayun. So going back to our conversation a while ago. So what's your favorite Italian food?
Of course, pizza. It's my
Pizza. Yeah, we
favorite.
just had pizza here at home a while ago, and I was
Always. I
able.
could eat many in a
Do you
day.
know how to cook or prepare pizza?
I don't know how to cook pizza. I know how to cook pasta.
Uh huh.
Not a
Yeah.
great. I mean, I always eat outside, so I don't have an oven, unfortunately. But I would love to learn how to cook. It's just not my thing, to
Right.
be honest. But
And
at least pasta.
I remember when I go to Italy, there are different kinds of places that you go to eat out, right? You have the restaurante, trattoria, and what are the
Yeah.
levels again? Can you explain that?
Even up until now, I don't really know the difference, but I think trattoria, you find a trattoria more in the province.
Uh huh.
So it's more like local food. That's what I understood. And then a
Oh,
ristorante is more like fancy, where you can
yeah.
find any kind of cuisines like that.
Yeah. So okay. How about Filipino food? What's your favorite Filipino food?
I love kare kare.
Oh
Leche
yes.
flan. Yeah.
Leche
Favorite.
flan. Where did your mom come from here in the Philippines? Is she really from Pasay or does she have a province?
She's from Bicol.
Bicol pala
Mm-mm.
siya. Have you been to Bicol?
I've been to Albay, but I was never able to really explore because my mom is from Sipocot. So
Okay.
I'm actually waiting for her to come back to the Philippines so then we can go together.
Yeah, okay. So, yun, before pursuing a college degree, you worked as a cashier, right?
Yes.
Actually, I was the one who was able to research on this one. So I've said, oh, nakaka-proud naman, ano, talagang she worked and she knows how to earn her keep. So how did you get into that?
Well, mostly because me and my family were going through a very tough time.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't even know how to pay our rent or buy our
Mm-hmm.
food, and it
Mm-hmm.
was just my mom taking care of me and my sister as a single mom. So of course I
Mm-hmm.
really didn't want to wait on my mom's shoulders, so I had to
Mm-hmm.
find a job, and at the time the easier job to find was working as a cashier.
Mm-hmm.
And in that way I was able to at least pay for my own things, and whenever my mom would need it, I would be able also to give money to her to help her with the
Mm-hmm.
rent or the food, the
Yeah.
grocery. Mm-mm.
How old were you then?
I was only 18. Yeah.
Wow. See,
Very
no,
young.
I just want to let that out so that everyone will also know, no, that even if hardships come, you can also step up to help yourself. And ako nga, sabi ko, wow, it was very admirable for you to really do this for you and for your family. So what did you learn from doing that job?
I really learned how to be responsible,
Mm-hmm.
especially not just for myself, but also for my family, because I would always see my classmates going to college. On the weekend, they would go out and they would always have their families taking care of them. And I was the only one with no money. So, of course, it was a struggle for me. I was only 18 years old, but I'm so happy for it because it really taught me how to be responsible, how to manage my own money, how to
Mm-hmm.
work, how to go through challenges and struggles. That's why now I value so much my work. I value
Mm-hmm.
so much where I am. I value so
Mm-hmm.
much my mother, my family, and whenever I can, I send money to them. So I
Yeah.
think this is also what people can understand, the fact that they see people successful and then they think they are successful just overnight, but
Mm-hmm.
there's so many challenges you go through, there's so many struggles you go through, and there's nothing wrong in wanting to talk about it. That's how you empower other
Mm-hmm.
people.
Yeah. So what before joining Miss UPH, what's your work?
Before Miss Universe Philippines, I was working as a model,
Oo nga
basically.
naman,
Yeah.
'di ba? Okay. So when you were working as a model, were you able to save anything from it?
It was very hard to save, especially when you have a lot of expenses
Mm-hmm.
and then you're not just taking care of yourself, but somehow you also want to help your family. It's really hard to save.
Mm-hmm.
I would do the best I could,
Mm-hmm.
but when you have to pay for your rent or you have to pay for your food, sometimes you have to send money. It's hard to save.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
don't get the chance to do it.
Right. And as a model, no, I'm what from what I know is that the money is not a regular thing that you earn, right?
Oh yeah, it's not. It's not like every month you have your income. Sometimes you have to wait 2 months. I
Uh-huh.
remember for a job I waited for a year before they paid me. So, oh my
Oh
god.
my God.
Yeah, it's hard, especially, yeah, that's what exactly what you said. It's hard to save when you don't have a certain salary
Mm-hmm.
income, when you don't have a
Yeah.
certain income every month.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So so of course you were able to save something when you were a cashier and now you're working as a model. What is the importance of savings to you?
I think it's very important to save because you never know what's going to happen in the future. Like, for example, you have emergencies, or
Mm-hmm.
for example, what happened during the pandemic. So many people lost their jobs, and in this kind of cases, would be an advantage for you to have some money saved in your bank account.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not always the case that you're able to save money, but when you can, you really have to set priorities when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to spend your money outside. You need to know,
Mm-hmm.
what do I need? Do I need this thing or do I not need this thing? Because it's important that you save at least every month, you put a certain amount of money aside.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Okay.
I
So as a diaspora, what could Filipinos learn from Italians in terms of saving?
Um, I don't know if it's a characteristic of Italians, but I've been pretty good on saving since I was 18, since I
Uh,
had my money. So I would always be very responsible with the things I buy. I
mm-hmm.
always ask myself the question, do I really need this? Or can I
Mm-hmm.
afford to buy this? What if something
Uh,
will happen this week? Or I would always ask myself the question, did I already pay the rent? Did I already do the grocery this week? So it's important that you know how to manage your money. So maybe if there's something they can learn is to be very responsible and money
mm-hmm.
management.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's really what you need to do, to be responsible with your money.
Yeah. Kasi if you live in Italy, of course, you have the famous brands there. You have Gucci, you have all of those things, all of these temptations. How were you able to manage those temptations?
Well, it was never my priority, to buy expensive things, especially when you have a family to feed, especially when you have to pay things like rent, electricity, and water. Of course, it's nice to buy and do shopping, but you have to set your priorities.
So I'll go back into that situation later because I have
Mm.
a interesting question for you later.
Oh.
But we had a poll, no, and we asked our followers, no, and we asked them the question whether they have emergency savings, and this is the result. So about 1,000 of our
Mm.
followers were able to vote. We asked them, "Do you have emergency savings?" 49%, or let's say half of them said wala, so nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then 24% said yes, equivalent to 1 to 3 months of their income. 11% 4 to 6 months of their income. 4% to 7 to 9 months of their income, and 12% 10 to 12 months of their income. So, what can you say about this? What's your reaction?
Mm, well, of course, it makes me sad because it's very important to have emergency money.
Mm-hmm.
As I said earlier, anything can happen. You may end up in the hospital, or your family may need you, or another pandemic could happen. So it's really important to have emergency money. But then
Mm-hmm.
again, it depends on the situations, because sometimes I hear so many stories of people that um, they cannot save money because there's not enough to save
That's
when
right.
you have a
Yeah.
lot of expenses. So it's
Yeah.
not entirely their fault.
It's true, no? Kasi totoo naman, no? What can you say when the money that you have is no longer enough just to live, right?
Yeah,
Oo.
exactly.
But I'm just interested to show this to you because RJ is saying, "Oh my God, manifesting for the fifth
Ooh.
province,"
I'm
and
manifesting every day.
yeah, and Nestle is also saying, watching her, you can learn a lot. Oh,
Thank
di ba?
you.
You're already inspiring a lot, Celeste. Okay, so English versus Filipino, we'll talk about that because we've seen that English is, of course, the language of business globally, no? And
Yeah.
majority of Filipinos actually believe that a lot of employment opportunities open up because of they know how to speak English. Do you think we should intensify the use of English language in schools, or should we intensify the use of Filipino?
I think English is important when you want to have more opportunities abroad. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I've been very surprised when I came here in the Philippines, because everybody knows how to speak English. And if there
Uh-huh.
is something about the Philippines, is that when you um, when you go to school, they actually teach you in English. So
Mm-hmm.
Filipinos knows how to speak English, and Filipino as well. And it
Mm-hmm.
was very surprising for me because, for example, in Italy, we don't have that. Whenever
Mm-hmm.
we go to school, they only teach us in Italian, and we
Mm-hmm.
only have 2, 3 hours a week to learn how to speak English, but that's not enough because you cannot practice. And that's why most of the Italians don't know how to speak English. And when I came here, I had to learn in the last 4 years. But it was very surprising because Filipinos know how to speak
Uh-huh.
English, and I think it's a very good advantage for them to know how to speak English.
Right. Okay. Celeste, I'm always the one asking questions here in Usapang Pera. So right now we are going to have our segment, and it's called Ask Sir Vince. So
Okay.
please make me feel like a beauty queen also. And
All
now I am in
right.
the question and answer portion. What's your question to me regarding money management, of course?
Okay, so I have one question, which
Uh-huh.
is, since we were talking about it earlier, how can you save money when the salary is not high enough and you have many expenses to cover?
Mhm. Yeah. Actually,
It's hard.
what so ang sasabihin ko muna dyan, I thank you for that wonderful question. And, but you know what? There's a myth that they say that the poor cannot save. So it's a myth, no? because everybody can save. As you mentioned a while ago, you just have to set your priorities. You have to know what your needs are, and you can always put something aside, no matter how small. I remember when I first had my work in development, because I'm a social development worker. I also used to think that, oh my God, the poor, they cannot save, okay, and they also I also had the impression before that the poor are poor because they are lazy or they don't want to work. But it's actually entirely opposite. They're very diligent, they're very industrious, they really work hard, except that the environment or the economy is not really able to help them move out of poverty. So, what we've seen really in our work is if you create financial products that fit the preferences of even those who have very low salary, they can save. And what's an example of that? In our company, right? When we get our employees, we immediately have a program for them that they should be saving 10% of their salary, and with the 10% we match 5%. So if they agree with that, then they get that benefit. So you see, what we're saying is if the systems are there to encourage people to save, they will save. Unfortunately, right now, no, if you go to the bank, you have to show a lot of identification cards, and you also have to have high maintaining balance. So the poor cannot really afford to maintain savings accounts with those kinds of financial products. So we create very innovative financial products. You open only show your ID and no cash is okay, just to open the account, and then we teach you to grow your savings. But I also have a rule, Celeste. I think this would be of interest to you. I have a budgeting rule. Do you have a budgeting rule?
A budget?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I try, yes. I do. I mean, you have to, right?
Uh-huh.
If
How,
you
how do
really
you
want to.
what's
Sorry.
how do you apportion your budget? How do you allocate it?
Well, of course, I always think about the rent first. I
Mm-hmm.
think about the food. And then after that, I think about my dogs, my dog and my cat, of course, they're my
Oh.
babies. And
Uh,
then I think about my family. So if I always put money aside, so then if my mom asks me to send money,
wait,
I'm able to do that.
wait. So the dog and the cat is above your family?
I know, sorry. I know it looks like, but it's not.
No,
It
no.
looks
I,
like,
I, I totally understand. I'm also a pet lover. I have a dog with me, and I spoil this dog to death. I
yeah,
totally
of
understand.
course. But
Yeah,
my family first. Okay, so I
of
think about
course.
my family first, and then of course my babies come. So just have to set your priorities. As
Right.
long as you pay your essentials first,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like the place you're living, your food, your family,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can also have for yourself, like whatever you want to do, wherever you want to spend your money, either it's
Yeah.
going out or shopping or traveling. It
Right.
really depends on you.
Okay, yeah. So here's my budgeting rule. So this is entirely on the finance side so that you can also be prepared financially in the future. So with 100% of your income, you divide it this way. 5% will go to insurance premium. So right now you're the breadwinner, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're the breadwinner, then you have to get life insurance, but only limit that to 5% of your salary. It should not
Mm,
increase, no, in terms of the premium or your income. And then 15% that is going to be for your savings, 20% for investment. The remaining
mm,
60% that will be budgeted for your expenses. So the ones that you said, for rent, for your
yeah,
cats, dogs, for your family, things like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we always allocate already something for insurance, savings, and investment before spending.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, it's very important that you put the money aside for insurance, which is really, really important.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, all your savings, these things should be your priority before anything else, before all the
Mhm.
expenses.
Right. Okay. So in Miss Universe, you were asked if you could stop time for a day, how would you spend it? But for Usapang Pera, here is my question for you. Our Miss
Mm.
Universe question for you, Celeste. If you are given 1 billion pesos, how would you spend it?
Wow, that's a lot. Okay, how would I spend it? In many ways, because it's a lot of money. So, of course, I have to think about my family. I would want my mom to come back to the Philippines. I just want to buy her a good house where she can have a good time, where she doesn't need to work at all. And, I can just give back to her and
Mhm.
she can just relax for the rest of her life. That's what I really want for her. And since I have 1 billion pesos is a lot, I would like to put it on my advocacy, Save the Children from Hunger. As I said
Mhm.
earlier, we are part of a program that is very sustainable, that educates the family on how to feed themselves, especially the children. So I know that they cover certain provinces here in the Philippines, but then if we were able to cover more areas here in the Philippines, then we would be able to eradicate a problem that is hunger. And I
Mhm.
think what this kind of organization really need is the resources, like money. So
Mhm.
if I could just give my part of that 1 billion pesos, it's a lot. I could just give it to the organization. It would make me happy.
Right. Okay. So how can viewers support you in your Miss Universe journey?
Well, of course, if they can follow my journey, I always remind my fans, be kind. I will always continue my kindness campaign. Don't ever forget that if you want to support me, please support every single candidate. Follow us on our social media. And yeah, just don't forget,
Mhm.
um, I don't want to see hate on social media, especially when it comes to Miss Universe. So just
Oo.
be kind to everybody, and that's how you will support me.
Right. Actually kasi no, usually mga Thai and mga Filipino fans laging nag-aaway.
They're very passionate.
Yeah, I know. Mikhail is saying, good luck, our fifth Miss Universe. And Chelsea is saying, you're so inspiring, Queen Celeste.
Thank you.
Hello. What PJ is also saying hello to you.
Hello.
Uh, what's this? Wait lang. Ito, si Chelsea said, you improved a lot, Queen
Oh,
Celeste.
thank
Wow.
you.
Di ba? Oh, so, pero sabi ni PJ, here's what you should do daw with your 1 billion pesos. Invest in 100 pieces of apartment and then paggawa ng bahay at matatanda, donate ako ng dialysis hospital. Oh, that's
Ooh,
what he's going to do.
I
Ayun.
like. Mm.
Right. When is Miss Universe coming up?
It's gonna be in next year, but we still don't know
Uh,
when exactly because they didn't have any official announcement. So I'm waiting for it.
yeah.
But for sure, it's gonna be 2023.
Okay.
I
But
think that's what I heard.
right. So thank you very much, Celeste. I really enjoyed talking with you
Me
tonight.
too.
And I wish you all the best. Alam mo, I've interviewed nga before, no, si Rabia, si Bea, and now you.
Mm-mm.
I have a stronger feeling with you
Oh,
this time around. No? Let's see how it goes. But we will pray hard for your success.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Ayan. Okay, sige. So, ayan po mga kaibigan, nakita natin si Celeste. Ako naman, di ba? Talagang may pambato na naman tayo sa Miss Universe competition. At nako, tingin ko talaga to ay minimum ha, top 3, minimum. Fearless forecast ko yan, mga kaibigan. Ayan po, no? Ako po si Sir Vince, ang inyong financial guro, nagsasabing ang pagyaman na pag-aaralan at napagtutulungan. Kung nag-enjoy at natututo kayo
Bago ako magmahal ng iba, mamahalin ko muna ang sarili ko. Mag-iipon muna ako ng pag-ibig. Pag-ibig Regular Savings. Earn 25 times more sa contributions mo. Ang contributions mo, ipon mo. Mas malaking contribution, mas malaking ipon. I'm worth it. I deserve pag-ibig.
Freelancing or running your own business is not all fun and games the way most people make it out to be. Check out TaxSumo. It lets freelancers, business owners, and self-employed professionals file taxes online in minutes. That way, you can focus more on your passion and stop worrying on taxes. Sign up with us at www.taxsumo.com.
Ever wanted to become a detective? Be part of an elite bomb squad. Train to become a wizard? Or survive a horror mystery? We have just the experience for you at Mystery Manila. Be trapped with friends in one room. Solve one mystery. All within an hour. With only one way out. Are you up for the challenge? We offer online team building activities via Zoom, as well as escape room games in our branches. Check out www.mysterymanila.com.
Online mo pala mahahanap ang bagong virtual pag-ibig. One click, you can track your savings. Easily pay for your loans. Even live chat with us. And now, apply for a short-term loan.
Sign up for the virtual pag-ibig account today.